Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the market analysis video for March 6, 2023. In this video, I'll be discussing about my view on the global markets, Nifty, Bank Nifty. We'll be also discussing about few intraday stocks and swing trading stocks. Also, before getting started, I have my break right now, so I'm planning to film more videos, maybe a support and resistance video and few other videos I'm planning to do. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, let's get started with the market analysis. All right, guys, let's get started with the market analysis. So as usual, let's start with the global markets. So in the last market analysis, I had mentioned, so the US market was somewhere here, right? So I had mentioned two possibilities. Either the market would dip below this trend line and the market would be heavily bearish, or the market could reverse. And the market did reverse with two very big green candles, and it closed, in fact, above the 200 moving average on the daily time frame. So it's pretty bullish, but this trend line, it's going to test this trend line soon. Either it can take resistance from this trend line and start falling down again, or if it breaks this trend line, it'll be very, very bullish. So that's the view for the US market. If we see the other markets, Singapore Nifty has been positive. Um, yeah, all the global cues are pretty positive. The European markets are 0.88% up. So yeah, the global cues are pretty positive. Now let's move on to our market. All right, let's start with Nifty. So let's start with the higher time frame as usual. So if you guys see here, this is an important level, right? This entire region, because this acted as a resistance. The market started falling down. It broke this level and markets again here. And this was on February. So this candle is a bearish candle, but right now there's a huge green candle again. So this could be considered as a retest, and then we could expect a bigger move from here, or the market can just keep falling down. There's still 26 more days for this candle to close, so it's a pretty long time. So but that's what we get from the monthly candle. Either this could be like a retest for another bullish move, or this could be just a market falling down. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Let's delete this level. Yeah. So in the weekly time frame, we can notice that, so there's a big red candle, right? And then there's some kind of consolidation and another red candle, and then another small consolidation or an up move, and then another red candle. And now there could be a slight up move to at least this trend line, which it's following, right? So a slight thing, or it could even break this region. I'm telling it could break this region because of some FII and DII data, which I'll explain to you later. But yeah, for now, it could reach this trend line, which is a couple of more candles, and then start falling again and make this kind of a red candle, or it could break that trend line. So that's what we get from the higher time frames. Also, just a quick thing, in the daily time frame, Nifty closed above the 200 moving average. So that's also a pretty important support and a pretty important bullish move. This would have been considered as a retest for a fall, which it could be too, but it could also be a bullish run. All right, let's look into the levels right now. So as usual, we are going to plan for both the sides, and whichever happens, we're going to take that kind of a trade. So like I mentioned in the last market analysis video, Nifty is going to Nifty and Bank Nifty are going to have a slight bullish run, which happened. And now Nifty is near this trend line, which it's been facing for a very long time. So since the all-time high till now, it's been taking resistance from this trend line, as you guys can see here. There's been a slight fake breakout, but again, it came here and it's taking resistance. So let's see the possibilities of Nifty. If the market opens gap up, right? If it comes back down to this level and gives a green candle, the market's going to be bullish. So you guys can take up a trade here, and then you guys can take this level as a target. So that's the first possibility. The next possibility is the market takes resistance from this level and starts moving down, like we saw in the previous trend line moves. And that's also one possibility. And you guys can keep the stop loss above this level and look for these targets if the market starts coming down. But there's just one important note. If the market opens gap up, make sure the gap is filled, wait for a green candle, and then take up a trade. Because whenever the market opens gap up, it could just rapidly fall down and close below this trend line. So always wait for like a proper green candle in the 15-minute time frame. So these are the two possibilities right now. You guys can copy the levels really quick. And the trend line on the 1 hour time frame from the all-time high. If you guys can't see this level very clearly, I'll be posting a community post and you guys can check out the levels over there too. Anyways, yeah, let's move on to Bank Nifty. All right, so as usual, the higher time frame. So Bank Nifty has taken support from this region. So there was a breakout, and this could be considered as a retest. So Bank Nifty looks stronger than Nifty, and it could be considered as a retest. Plus, the last two candles or the last 2 months had huge lower wick rejections. So that also shows a bullish sign. That's what we get from the higher time frame. Moving on to the weekly time frame. There's nothing much we can derive from here except the fact that it's been following lower lows pattern and lower highs pattern, but again the movement has been the same. The daily candle, if we open the 200 moving average, it took support from the 200 moving average and then it started going up, and now it's in this important trend line. It's near this important trend line. So that's the overall analysis. Let's move on to the levels right now. All right. So Bank Nifty looks more clearer in the price action wise. So I'll be mostly trading in Bank Nifty. So right now it's near the trend line, right? If there's like a proper breakout and then there's a retest in this level and then there's a green candle, I'll be comfortably going long in this, and this would be my first target. So basically this could be considered as a retest. So this level could be considered as a retest level. The market would come back here, and once it gives a green candle, I'll be looking for these levels as my target. But if the market again starts becoming bearish, I'll wait for this level to break and then take up my position to the bearish side, and my stop loss would be above this level or based on some pivot point. Or it could be above this level too based on the price action for that day. Yeah, but it depends. But our planning is based on both the sides, right? And this could be my target, this could be my target, and this could be my target. So Bank Nifty has a clearer price action here. It's not like very close to the trend line, so we have some space to decide our trade. So you guys can copy the levels really quick. And the blue boxes are the main support and resistance zones, and the gray boxes are just to like maybe it's for a retest or just like some levels on the 15-minute time frame. So yeah. Um, and again, if you guys can't, if the levels are not clear, I'll be mentioning it in the community's post, so you guys can check that out. So that's it for Nifty and Bank Nifty. Let's move on to some intraday stocks. All right, HDFC. So, oh, just a quick thing before moving on to intraday stocks. Let's look at some FII and DII data. Like I mentioned, I feel that Nifty and Bank Nifty are going to be bullish and break the trend line because look at the amount of FIIs buying recently. So on March 3rd, they bought around 2,000 crores. March 2nd, they bought around 14,000 crores. March 1st, 1,000. If you guys see here, too, if you guys go a little below, Feb 16, they bought 3,000 and they've been just selling a little bit. And they've been basically stacking up their positions, even though they know that it's close to the trend line. But still, they've been stacking up their positions, which shows a bullish move. But this is just previous data. Which gives us conviction over our analysis. But whatever happens in the market based on price action, that's when we take the trade. We don't go based on this data. We just use this for like some kind of conviction and to take up a side, right? So FIIs and DIIs are basically bullish in the market. That's what this conveys. All right, let's move on to some intraday stocks. HDFC Bank. So yeah, HDFC Bank has been taking resistance from this zone, and finally on Friday it broke out from this zone, took a retest, and then it's now consolidating. So if the market opens above this level, and if you guys have a good risk to reward ratio, and if it's above the pivot point, you guys can, and if it gives a green candle, of course, you guys can take up a trade here. This could be a first target, this could be a second target. Make sure you use the pivot points indicator. Um, like I mentioned in the last market analysis video too, it's really helpful. So yeah, I wouldn't take up HDFC for the bearish side because I couldn't find clear levels here. As you guys can see, like there's so many wicks and resistance and stuff. So there's a clear bullish price action. So I'll be looking for like a bullish trade if it gives me a closing above this level. In the 5 minutes time frame, if you guys are risky traders, in the 15 minutes time frame, if you guys are like safe traders, um but you guys might miss the move if you guys trade on the higher time frame, so just look out for that. So that's my analysis for HDFC. Axis Bank. All right, so if you see Axis Bank on the higher time frame, if you go to the 1 hour time frame, it's been taking resistance from this zone, gave a breakout, gave a retest, and now it's consolidating in this zone. Again, a perfect bullish setup. So if Axis Bank gives a closing above this level, it's a really good trade for these targets, for this target basically, which gives you almost 1%. So just wait for a closing above this level on the 15-minute time frame. Maybe about the pivot point about the in the 5 minutes time frame, and then you guys can take up the trade. Make sure you always have a stop loss intact over here. So you guys can take up a trade over here if it gives a candle, a green candle. Keep the stop loss below this level, and this could be our target, right? All right. So that's for Axis Bank. If it goes to the bearish side, I wouldn't take up the trade. All right, Gale. So Gale has been in a huge bullish run without like any pullback. There has been a slight pullback here, but I wouldn't really consider this as a pullback. It's just like more buyers coming in, so a sideways kind of market. But over here in the recent price action, there's been like a slight down move. If it breaks this level, you guys can take a quick target for this level. So if it gives like a red candle here, keep the stop loss above this level, and this could be our target. Don't worry, I'll give all the zones and the levels after I finish explaining all the stocks. So that was for Gale. Tata Motors, again a bullish stock. It's been taking support or resistance, and finally it gave a breakout. Now it's in the retest zone. So maybe if you guys are slightly risk-taking traders, you guys can immediately take up a trade if it gives a green candle here, or add your first quantity here. And then if it gives like a closing about this zone, like about this zone, you guys can add your second quantity here, and this could be your target. So this is a big target, so make sure you use pivot points to like see where are the appropriate levels. So that was for Tata Motors. PPCL, again a bullish stock. It's been consolidating, breakout, and now there's like a sideways kind of market. So if it breaks out from this zone, I wouldn't take up a trade. But if it breaks up from this region, this could be my first target. It's not necessarily a target because it's the risk to reward is pretty bad. But you guys can take up this as your main target and this as your second target. Since there's been like consolidation, you can expect a pretty good move in this stock. So that was for BPCL. So take up a trade above this level if you guys are, maybe add your first quantity, and then above this level for these targets. Bajaj Auto. So Bajaj Auto is for both sides, the bearish and bullish move. If it gives a closing about this level with a green candle, these would be my targets, which is, I think you guys can take up a trade somewhere here. 0.5 and almost 1%. So it doesn't depend on the percentage. It depends on your risk to reward. So if you guys can take up somewhere here and your risk is just this much, it's a pretty good trade, right? It's a 1:3 trade. So make plans based on the risk to reward and not just the percentage. Again, for the bearish side, make sure you wait for a retest, and then if it gives like a red candle near like some pivot point or something, then you guys can take up a trade for this level and this level. Again, make sure your risk to reward is proper. So this time we have 6 stocks for intraday, for both bullish and bearish sides. Let's move on to some swing trading stocks really quick. All right, Hindustan Unilever. It's in its important supply zone right now, or demand zone. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So if it gives like a proper red candle on the 1-day time frame, keep the stop loss below this level somewhere here, and this could be your first target, the 200 moving average on the daily time frame. This could be a second target, and this could be a third target. That's for Hindustan Unilever. Bharati Airtel. So Bharati Airtel is an interesting stock because this is a bearish move, right? But there's been like a bull trap here, or a bear trap, and the markets have again gone up and closed above the 200 moving average. So people who have shorted here would have got their stop loss hit over here, which will invoke more buyers into the market. So the stock can go pretty quickly up. So watch this stock for the swing trading stock. There's actually another level, I think. So if I just see here, yeah. So this is an important level too, because as you guys can see here, there's been a lot of volume in this region. So this is an important level too. So make sure if you guys are safe traders, make sure that level breaks. But I'd suggest you to take up the trade right now because your stop loss is pretty small. It's just below this level. If you guys take up the trade somewhere here, maybe you can, yeah, I think even that's fine because you guys can keep the stop loss below the 200 moving average. And then, yeah, so that's also fine. You guys can take up the trade here or above this level. And these are your targets. So both swing trading stocks are for the bullish side. All right, so yeah, you guys can copy the levels really quick for the swing trading stocks. So this is for Bharati Airtel. This level, this level, this level, and the 200 moving average. Hindustan Unilever, this level. And the 200 moving average on the daily time frame. So for intraday stocks, these are the levels. This line. You guys can just maybe skip this part if like you can see it in the community post for the levels and the trend line. This level and this level. I already gave an explanation on what's the plan, so I'm just giving the levels out now and the trend line on the 15-minute time frame for Tata Motors, BPCL, again trend line, this box here, this level, and this level. Bajaj Auto, the trend line on the 15-minute time frame, this level, these two levels here and this. So I think that's about it for this market analysis video. All right, guys, if you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you guys want more market analysis videos like this, comment it down below. I'm planning to film more learning videos and live trading videos. I'm also planning to film a live trading videos on how I trade these stocks. So if you guys are interested for all these videos, subscribe to the channel. Other than that, have a safe trading session next week. I'll see you guys in another video. Thank you.